Welcome, everybody, back to the final score. I'm your host, Nicholas Marcinov, and this week we are going to be predicting week number 5 of the NFL. This is going to be a really fun week. I'm joined today by Chris, DJ, and Tanner. Unfortunately, Ben will not be joining us, but that's okay because we still have the standings to look after. Now, this last week, we did pretty well for the most part. This is everybody's current standards. I'm still at the top, but Chris, you got to lay off, man. Like, I really don't like that you're just one game behind me. So please, if you will, pick the worst teams this week, all right?
No.
Get you, man. So it's me, Chris, Tanner, DJ, and unfortunately Ben. He is going to make sure that the bottom is all nice and clean for whoever gets down there eventually. But that's enough time looking at the stats and everything. You guys ready to make your picks this week?
Yes, sir.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start with the Thursday night game. Chris, you'll be talking about this one. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Chicago to take on the Bears. Let's hear it.
Ooh, man, talk about two different games last week. You got the Buccaneers who were losing to Chargers. And then somehow, Tom Brady came back in that Falcons Super Bowl back a couple of years ago and decided to throw 5 touchdowns. Then you had Nick Foles, who kind of just looked like Mitchell. I forgot how to pronounce his last name.
Trubisky,
yeah. He kind of looked like Trubisky last week, and they got pretty beat by the Colts, which kind of made me upset because I had faith in Nick Foles. But this week I'm going with Tampa Bay. They looked strong last week. They look very strong. I think they could beat the Bears.
All right, DJ.
Seeing Tom Brady defy the odds with his age right now is extremely just encouraging for some of these young players to keep their careers going and going. And so with that, I'm pulling for Tampa Bay because I like the idea of Tom Brady just being able to handle it at 42 years old in the league. So that's my stance.
All right, Tanner.
So when I was watching last week's game, I was like, when they were getting beat, I was like, I cannot believe this, bro. Are the Buccaneers really going to get beat by the Chargers right now? And then as I saw before, I was messaging you guys, I was like, hey, I've seen this episode before a couple of years ago. I said, don't, when the fourth quarter kicked off, again, Chargers blew it, five touchdowns thrown, done deal. Tom Brady's the GOAT. I'm going to keep saying that all time. For the rest of my life, Tom Brady's the GOAT. You can't fight the GOAT. He's going to make you a boy. He's the big man. So I got to give it up to Brady right behind me.
There you go.
Tampa Bay's going to take it.
Okay. Well, for me, it's an exciting Super Bowl rematch between Tom Brady and Nick Foles, just on two completely different teams. However, this is the week where Tom Brady gets his revenge. Chicago doesn't have weapons. I can't pick Chicago right now. So give me the Tampa Bay to win this one.
Can I just say one thing?
It depends. Are you going to give me money for wasting my time?
No, but I will say I've never seen my coworker so mad that the Chargers got beat in the last quarter in my life.
I mean, hey, nothing's changed, even with Phillip Rivers being out of now Los Angeles. So
Yeah. It just goes to prove that God really does hate the Chargers.
Football gods for sure.
Well, we're going to now move on to the Sunday games. The first matchup is the Buffalo Bills going to Tennessee Titans. Tanner, you're going to be talking about this one, and I just want to remind everybody at home that there is an asterisk next to this game for if it gets played. So, Tanner.
Well, when you break it down and you look at it, you got the Bills 4-0, Titans 3-0. And the Bills, honestly, I know I may get some flack for this comment. Before last week's game against the Raiders, they really have not played any rough teams. have had pretty easy lineup for as far as the schedule. Titans have got some good, but you know, between the Bills and the Titans, I mean, they're going against, I would say, arguably the best team they've played this season. Raiders are pretty good, but I think the Titans are pretty good. You know, if I had to choose just between the two, just the way that they're playing, that the season is, and I mean, like, hey, if it doesn't happen, whatever, we're gonna see. Maybe they'll shut down the whole NFL. I hope not, because then the show's gonna get shut down. But I got to give it up to the Bills this week.
Yeah, for me, it really just comes down to the Titans' point differential. Like, they don't ever win these games convincingly. It's all been within a field goal. So I think that the Bills are just going to take this one and run away with it. Chris, your pick.
Exactly what you said. The Titans really haven't been, playing as good as they should. When they won against Jacksonville, I was surprised. I like, wow. So, the Bills, like Tanner said, they haven't really been playing too many good teams except for the Raiders. Titans, I don't think are going to get it done. I honestly don't.
All right, Tanner. Excuse me, not Tanner. DJ, are you going to complete the sweep or predict an upset?
You know what? I'm gonna go with an upset on this one. The Titans had an extra week of rest, and they're gonna be coming up, nice and relaxed. With a nice resting period, having this past week off, and I saw the Bills handle my Raiders last week, and I'm salty about it. So it's kind of me more hoping that the Titans crush the Bills on this week, and with the extra rest, I think that might be a thing that could happen. So.
I was actually going to ask you, is this just kind of like your revenge game? Like you're hoping Tennessee just like smacks them?
Honestly, that's exactly what's happening right now. I hope someone just cleans Josh Allen's clock on this one, trying to scramble around. I don't hope that he gets injured. I just hope that someone does.
Brings them down to reality.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. All right, well, we're going to move on to our next game. DJ, I'm going to keep it with you because I want you to talk to us about the Jacksonville Jaguars going to take on the Houston Texans.
Yeah. Oh man, this is an interesting game, and especially because the Texans have started off with a really rough season, and now they're kind of just riding solo with no head coach. Bill O'Brien gets fired in the early part of a COVID season, not making things look good for the Texans or promising for the future. I read an article that J.J. Watt and Bill O'Brien got into a big screaming match, and things just kind of had a domino effect after that. And, I don't like to get too hung up on, head coach getting fired after a few losses too much. However, you could definitely see with the way things are going that this has some sort of effect. So with that being said, I know that the Texans are trying to bounce back, and maybe they will be able to, because on the other side, Jacksonville had a number of guys go down on Sunday, a couple key starters. So if those starters stay sidelined with those injuries, I don't know if they'll be able to take on the Texans. But for the sake of this podcast that we got going, boys, I think I'm going the Jags on this one. I'm a big Minshew guy. I know that you are as well, Nick. So I'm going to stick with Jacksonville on this one.
Okay. Tanner, who's your pick?
DJ made some really good points about it, but one of them I think that we got to reemphasize on is that Jacksonville has some players go down, and it's not Sunday, but we still have a few days to go there. But even with this whole kind of COVID thing going about, honestly, I'm gonna throw an upset. Because look, you're coming 0-4, and I bet you right now they got the gun to the head coach. Right when he comes out, they got one like bumping right behind him, like, "Hey, you better win this game, bro. It's all over for you." So that wasn't very user friendly, but whatever. Anyways, I gotta give it up to them.
So you're going Texans?
Yes, sir. We're going with Big Texas this week.
Okay.
Everything's bigger in Texas. We might get a big W. If not, I'm going to take a big L. So,
Okay. For me, this game is very tough because the Jacksonville Jaguars let Joe Burrow get 500 yards of offense on them. And for me, Deshaun Watson is a much better quarterback than Joe Burrow right now. And had this game happen last week, I would have picked the Texans to win it. But because they don't have a head coach, they don't even have a GM anymore. I'm going to go with Minshew. Now, I picked them too many times for having only one win, so hopefully it doesn't bite me in the butt. But right now, I don't know what the Texans are going to do. There's too many question marks, and after this week, we'll have a better idea of what they do for the rest of the season. Chris, your pick.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Tanner on this one and say that everything's bigger in Texas. I know Joe Burrow is a good quarterback, but to have them go from 0-2-1 to 1-2-1 kind of makes me upset about Minshew. I like Minshew a lot. I'm with you, Minshew mania and stuff. But this week, I'm just not feeling it. I'm feeling Texas. I love J.J. Watt, and I'm hoping that he gets that sweet victory this week.
We'll definitely see. It's going to be a really interesting game, but it's like not even like one of the premier matchups, unfortunately. It's just one of those games that's hard to predict because both teams suck. But speaking of a bad team, we're going to move on to our next matchup. It is the Cincinnati Bengals going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. And Tanner, you're going to break it down for us.
we got Bengals last week, first win. Good for them, but they're going to lose this week. I'm just telling you. It's going to be a homicide like I keep saying. I got a new picture this week. I think it's going to reemphasize a little bit more. This is what it's going to look like. I'm right. It's right behind me. That's why I placed this picture perfectly. You're going to see Joe Burrow right behind in the middle of this intersection right here next week. I'm telling you. They're going to take him down.
Yes. I don't give the Bengals much of a chance, and it's not even worth betting my money on. Chris, your pick.
That's all that needs to be said.
DJ.
I think that Joe Burrow is only going to smoke a couple of cigars this season, especially with Lamar Jackson just absolutely dominating the game. So I'm going with you boys, Baltimore all day.
Let me just throw out a little hypothetical really quick. What if this game was reversed? What if it was Ravens coming to Cincinnati off of the Bengals' first win? Would you give Bengals any bit of a better chance against the Ravens?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
All right, I tried to be nice.
It's going to be a premeditated murder. He's got to travel across a couple states to go get him.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, at least this way the Bengals are kind of blind going in. They're just like, oh, we're going to have fun. And then just the chainsaw comes out. Moving on to our next matchup, it is an NFC battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. So where do I begin with this? First, let's go ahead and just acknowledge how the Carolina Panthers have kind of redeemed themselves. They're now 2-2. They're looking a lot better. They took care of the Cardinals kind of handily. They won against the LA Chargers whenever the Chargers got Justin Herbert and looked great against the Chiefs. The Panthers are looking good. Teddy Bridgewater, he's really taking command of the Panthers. And like I said, without Christian McCaffrey there, the Panthers don't feel like they're forced to give McCaffrey the ball on every single play. On the other side of the field, you have the Atlanta Falcons, who are 0-4, who keep giving up big leads. Now, they were smart during the Packers game, and they decided to give their fans no hope whatsoever. And that's good. I don't think Atlanta could have taken another, big deficit comeback in the fourth quarter. And it's not like Atlanta's not talented, because they do get those big leads. It's just they can't hold on to them. They can't secure them. And I think that comes down to the head coach of Dan Quinn. But in this matchup, I haven't picked these guys, but I'm going to this week. I'm going to say Teddy Bridgewater gets Carolina to be positive. Chris, who's your pick?
Man, Falcons, man, they just look like utter crap. Like, Teddy Bridgewater's my guy. Like, I liked him when he was in New Orleans. He had that stretch of 5-0 when Drew Brees went out. And, he's been looking good. Last week, against the Cardinals. Cardinals are a pretty good team right now. They do have DeAndre Hopkins with freaking Kyler Murray. Like, that's a tough win right there. But this week, it's not going to be that tough of a win, because the Panthers are just they're gonna claw those Falcons out of the sky.
All right, fair enough. DJ.
I watched the game last week, and Teddy Bridgewater was just commanding the entire game, and I was extremely impressed. And honestly, Davis, their backup running back, and I mean, hey, I feel like when Christian McCaffrey comes back, he's going to be sharing a lot of time with that guy. So with that combination, I don't think anyone else stands a chance, when you're clicking that good, especially with your star guy going out. So I'm going Panthers on this one.
All right. I also hope that McCaffrey can split time, because he is just too good in the football world. But Tanner, who's your pick? You're also muted, buddy.
I know I got some background noise going on, so that's why I mute myself. But as far as Panthers, Teddy Bridgewater playing very well. But I mean, if you look at how the Falcons didn't do great against Tampa Bay. I think we can all agree that. But if you look, they started 0 in the first quarter, 3rd and 2nd quarter, 6 in the 3rd, I believe, and then 7. And these are kind of slowly learning. And obviously, they've just been an embarrassment to the league the last 2 games they played. Especially with that onside and everything like that. But because I want to win a jersey, I'm going to be a little bit different this week. I thought I had a picture for it, but I really don't. I'm going to go with the Falcons, bro. I think they're going to pull it out, say, you know what, we're done losing. We're done being sore losers. We're going to win. So we're going to go 1-4 this upcoming week. So we'll see how it is.
There you go. I
like that.
Define the odds.
It would totally be like the Falcons for the 1 week where it's like, no, it would be like the Panthers. The 1 week I give them any credit at all, they decide to make me look foolish.
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever picked the Panthers this week or this whole time at all.
I think you did once, but that's regardless of the point.
Yeah, they probably were going against the Jets, to be honest.
Yeah, probably.
If you picked them in the past, 4 weeks, I think one of those games they were probably going against the Jets.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you bring up the Jets, because guess who we're going to talk about next?
The Bears. Oh, wait, we already talked about the Bears.
We already talked about the Bears. Nobody wants to give them another segment. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Arizona Cardinals going to the New York Jets. And Tanner, I want you to talk about this one as well.
All right, so Cardinals looking really good right now, 2-2. You got the Jets 0-4. And I know we've said 0-4 a lot, and a lot of no one's really going 1-1. We got some 0-4 in each little division. But honestly, in my own thing, I think the Jets are going to go 0-5, bro. They're not looking too hot. And like I said, I know the Giants are the biggest thing ever to come out of New York, but the Jets are really close behind them. I'm going to give it up. I actually have a picture for this one. I'm actually prepared this time. I'm going to give it to the Cardinals. We're going to get it done. They're going to come out there. They're going to bring the Arizona heat. They're going to dry them out. I know it's winter out there. I know they're going to dry them out. They're not going to get used to it. They're going to have to take off too many layers. They're going to get too hot. Someone's going to have a heat stroke. It's going to be game over. So Let's give it up to the Cardinals.
You know, even this week, Sam Darnold's not playing because of the shoulder strain, and so Joe Flacco is going to be playing. There's still too much problems on the Jets' defense, so I'm going to say that the Cardinals break their losing streak and they bounce back. Chris?
I don't know about you guys, but is it getting a little dry over in New York?
It's a little dry over there. It's a little.
Yeah, I think the dry rub's coming back, guys. I think we're coming. I think we're bringing the Arizona dry heat to the Bronx. I think Kyler Murray is gonna bring it. He's gonna bring it. Joe Flacco. I have no hope in Joe Flacco after being kicked off by Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. DJ.
All right, that's me. Is that me? Is that segue?
Yeah, that's you. I'm sorry. I should have made it more obvious.
I got hung up on all that dry rub, you know. Just thinking about, I just got the meat sweats from all that dry rub. Anyways, aside from dry rub and meat sweats, I don't think that that Joe Flacco could get anything going with that team, especially with Adam Gase being at the helm of the team. So yeah, I'm going the other way, and I'm gonna go with my man Happy Feet Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals, and I hope he has a huge game, a couple touchdowns on the run, a couple thrown touchdowns, because I need some major points in my fantasy league, all right? I'm just going to be honest with you guys.
All right. Well, fair enough. Moving on to the next game, we actually have the Las Vegas Raiders, who are 2-2, going to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 4-0. DJ, you're going to be talking about this one and how it can probably be these two teams fighting for the division title.
God, just thinking about that game and against Buffalo last Sunday was really, really hard for me, because I gotta say, the Raiders were battling. They got into the red zone 4 different times just in the first half, and they only scored 1 touchdown. And that says a lot for a team, about who their identity or what their identity is. It's either you have a backbone and you really, really knock the guy in front of you and get into the zone, or you just lay down and let your kicker, hit 3 field goals or whatever. And, obviously being a Raiders fan, that's a hard pill to swallow, thinking that they have, so much, more talent, and just, they're just a better team than that, especially in that situation of making it in the red zone that many times and not being able to capitalize. So with that being said, you look at the Raiders and what they're doing, and Derek Carr, was saying that he's sick of losing, and he doesn't want any of this stuff happening anymore and all this stuff like that. And then you go over to the Chiefs, man, and you see a guy like Patrick Mahomes just effortlessly throwing 4 touchdowns a game, scrambling, doing the no-look pass. Like, man, I'm waiting for this guy to, throw under the legs pass for, 40-yard touchdown or something like that. He's so cool, calm and collect in the pocket, and beautiful passes all around. And I mean, you can't forget about all the talent around him, and so with that, it's for me being a Raiders fan, I'm hoping that, from all the stuff that I've seen from the Raiders of flipping around and being like, I'm pissed off and I need to get in there or whatever, that they could pull it off, but I'm not sure. But for the sake of this podcast, I'm still going to go with my boys for the upset to take the freaking division, baby, because that's what we need to do. We got John Gruden, who freaking cased on not going for it on 4th and 1 early in the first half last week, and I am still upset to where I know if he gets that chance against the Chiefs in Arrowhead that he's going to ram it down Andy Reid and his squad's throat, and we're going to pull off the upset, baby. That's what we're doing.
Okay. Well, knock if you're with DJ. Knock on wood if you're with DJ. Oh, nope, that was no one. Chris, you doing okay?
Yeah. Good.
Ted, who's your pick for this matchup?
DJ brought up some good points, but I think there's something a little more that we're all kind of forgetting. Where is it?
I already know what it is.
This is Stephen Gilmore right here, Patriots cornerback. He tested positive for COVID. And look how close he is to Patrick Mahomes. They're right next to each other. This is after the post game. And so now people are saying, because, apparently you can test you can test negative, but have the virus. So we don't really know what's going on with COVID. But there's actually a likelihood that we may not see Patrick Mahomes play Sunday and be with COVID, and we're going to be in the same boat that I am with Cam right now. So that's a good point. And here's the problem. We're not going to know if Patrick Mahomes is going to be playing or not till Saturday night, right before the game. So it's difficult to say because and some players on the Raiders even tested positive too. So it's all going around. So it's like who is going to feel bad in the next 4 days? That is really going to decide this upcoming game. Something – I don't know. I feel – how you feel that gut feeling, but you just don't know if it's right?
You want to go Raiders, man. Just say it. Just come out and say it, baby.
I'm feeling it. I'm
open arms, baby.
I'm just going to go with that feeling, bro. I'm going with the Raiders right behind me.
My boy.
Nice.
My boy.
Nice picture.
Yeah.
The super fan, bro.
All
Look at
day.
him.
Hey.
Look at the super fan behind me.
I've seen that guy at a game.
Okay. All right. Well, DJ, if the Raiders were to win this Sunday, or for prediction to make you feel any better, Patrick Mahomes struggled against the Patriots. Like Bill Belichick, he had a good plan. And John Gruden, he's going to make sure that he knows what the Patriots did to slow him down and try to beat him. I didn't even know that the Raiders started having people test positive.
One player, Mo Hurst, our defensive tackle. So it was only one player. So we'll see. But, I mean, he is a big part of the Raiders' defensive core, but it was only one player. So hopefully it isn't too bad.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But, oh, man, it's tough because, this is another asterisk, if they play and if Patrick Mahomes even plays. But I'm not going to go against Patrick Mahomes right now. I'm going Chiefs. Chris?
Oof. Yeah, I would have to be the last one, and you all make really great points. If Patrick Mahomes were to test positive right now, like I get the notification on my phone says, "Yo, your boy Patrick Mahomes, he's out." I would go Raiders, but I don't know. I'm sorry, DJ. I'm just not feeling it. Like, I know last week was tough for Patrick Mahomes, but the man is unstoppable. The man is just I don't know, man. It's crazy.
You're right, and it's okay. I went against the Dolphins a couple times this season so far, so we're even now.
I just looked up who Kansas City's backup QB is, Matt Moore. His stats are actually pretty decent. Last season, he threw for 659 yards and 4 touchdowns with no interceptions.
Yeah, I gotta say, Matt Moore is like, if there was a Hall of Fame for backup quarterbacks, he would be like the GOAT of that. Matt Moore's been on like 7 different teams backing up multiple quarterbacks. He's like the guy from Blue Mountain State of the NFL. He's like what's the game? Moran. He's like Moran of Blue Mountain, but for the league. Guy just making a living being a backup.
I've actually want to make a video talking about this on how I think that journeymen should be Hall of Famers. So like people like Ryan Fitzpatrick, Josh McCown, I think they should be Hall of Famers because going to so many different teams, that's a hard job. And even if you don't want to say they're Hall of Famers, there should be like an addition to the Hall of Fame for these journeymen to be recognized for their services. Because that has to suck, knowing that you're just there till the next guy comes.
True, and I like that concept. So I mean, one of these days, maybe we could do a little blurb of it or something, because that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel the same way, especially with the guys like Fitzmagic, you know.
Absolutely. But let's go ahead and move on to our next game, so we don't get too off track. It is the Philadelphia Eagles going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Chris, you're going to be talking about this one.
Man, San Francisco, they didn't bring Pelosi last week, Tanner. It was obviously that they were going to lose to the dumpster fire Eagles. But against the Steelers, I don't know. The Steelers, I know they had that extra week of rest, and I'm pretty sure that this game is going to be an asterisk as well. But I have no faith in the Eagles at all. I'm going Steelers.
All right, that's fair. I feel like I know what everybody's picking. DJ?
Yeah, I'm going Big Ben all day. There's no way around it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Eagles just suck, man.
Yeah. Tanner?
You have to talk to show
No commentary at all.
Oh, well, he has to say something so the speaker view can pick him up.
Oh, fair. Just pretend like I'm not talking right now. This is what I was doing. Just shaking my head.
Guys, let him say something and then don't respond. So, Tanner, please.
All right, audience. So this is what I was doing. I was just like this, shaking my head while they were all laughing. You saw it off camera, but just shaking my head. I have no words. I do have words. It doesn't matter if you light trash on fire because it's still trash. And that's the Philadelphia Eagles. That's all I got to say.
So if the season were to end today and all the division winners and everything was set up, the Philadelphia Eagles would have a home playoff game. I hate it, and I'm going to rely on the Pittsburgh Steelers to just kind of like beat them up for having that ability. All right, so yeah, that was a very fast round. Nobody's giving Eagles a chance. Moving on to the next game. This might be another fast one. We have the LA Rams going to Washington to take on the football team. I'm going to break it down for us. The LA Rams, they just got off of a win against the Giants, who they actually struggled against. They only scored 10 points in the first half, and the Giants were in the game for the entire thing. So it's like, what really happened to the Rams? Why did they let the Giants get so close? And then on Washington, they just benched Dwayne Haskins. Before last game, they told Dwayne Haskins, hey, you got to start playing, otherwise we're going to move on from you. And that's exactly what Ron Rivera did, I believe yesterday or today. They announced that Dwayne Haskins will not be playing. In fact, Kyle Allen, who was the backup turned starter last season for Carolina when Ron Rivera was there and Cam went down, he's going to be starting for the Washington football team. And Alex Smith, who only has the one really good leg, is going to be the backup. So Dwayne Haskins is going from first to third string. I think that's a lot of disrespect on Dwayne Haskins. His stat line wasn't even that bad, but I think they're just looking at him as the main reason why Washington's losing, and not just the fact that the entire organization is just terrible. But so with that in mind, give me the LA Rams to just kind of like devour the Washington football team. Chris.
The Rams are going to go into Washington, and they're going to roam those fields, and they're going to munch on all the grass. And then after they're done eating all that grass, they're going to do just like what the Ravens did last week and poop on the football team.
OBJ about it, all right?
Yeah, leave OBJ out of this one.
Y'all want to talk about OBJ? He's right behind me.
Oh, my
You want
God,
to talk
no.
about him?
Get that off, man.
He's just in a hot tub, bro.
Oh
You make your own conclusion about it.
Oh, my God. DJ, please save us. Give me your pick.
Yeah, I'm going to LA all day. And I do want to take this time for a quick shout out to Ron Rivera, battling cancer and still coming in, coaching, trying to keep the team together. And, you know, I feel like that in itself should be something to where players want to be able to step up and go big. However, with that missing link, AKA having a decent quarterback to get the job done, I don't think it's going to happen. So I'm going with the Rams on this one for Kyle Allen to try to get his feet, settled underneath him.
Oh, he does know Ron Rivera's, plan and everything. So we'll have to see. Keep an eye on Kyle Allen. Tanner.
You already know, son. You already know. It's weird because I'm like in backup. I'm in like reverse, but LA, baby.
All right.
LA. See, I'm not from LA, but you could tell because it took me a second to do that. I can do some other ones, but I don't want to get shot. So we're going Rams. So we're going on the next segment.
Thank you for the transition. The next matchup, we have the Miami Dolphins going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Chris, they're your favorite team. Let's hear it.
Whew, damn, I didn't just realize that they're going to San Francisco. But last week, they didn't look too bad against the Seahawks. They did okay. I mean, Seahawks, come on. But the 49ers, to lose to the dumpster trash of a team called Eagles. Obviously, they don't have Jimmy Garoppolo or any of their starters at all, like as Tanner said previously. So I'm going to have to give it to the Dolphins this week. I this might be the only upset I have this week. We'll see. I think this is the only one, but I'm picking this upset.
Okay, I told you during the pre-stages that Jimmy Garoppolo is now back to practicing and he might be the starter. Does that change your mind? If so, if he does start, then yeah. I'm still gonna pick him because they still have the backup squad.
I think your dog's telling you to go for 49ers, bro. I hear that. He's like, "What are you doing?"
That's my neighbor's dog. They don't know what they're talking about.
Hey, call Michael Vick, bro. We won't have a problem no more.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Oh my God. Here I am. Let's be more professional. Call Michael Vick. DJ, who's your pick?
That's awesome. Hey, for all of the times that I went against you, Chris, I see this freaking Fitz magic just ready to let loose, my man. So I'm going Dolphins all day.
Oh, thank you.
Oh no.
At least if they do go down, I'm not going down alone.
Oh no, Tanner, who's your pick?
This is actually Fitzpatrick saying, "Say hello to my little friend right here." Touchdown bomb right here, baby. You can't see that, but that's Tony Montana right there in the background, aka Fitzmagic throwing touchdowns.
I'll see him there. Well, look, let me tell you. You know what Nick was saying, getting put back on as a starter. You know, I mean, you gotta look at outside forces influence football too. You guys know that diseases and COVID stuff like that. You also got politics, bro. We're getting close to the election. You know, Nancy Pelosi is fired up, ready to take down Big Trump. You got Gavin Newsom. You got everybody here in the Democratic-held Senate. I think it's 52 or 62 to 17 Republicans. Regardless of that, they're fired up. They're ready to go. San Francisco being one of the most liberal places in the country. They are upset. They're ready to go. They've been yelling, let's go voting, and I'm going to go vote for the San Francisco. Let's go 49ers this week.
Okay. All right. So prior to me seeing Jimmy Garoppolo start practicing, I was totally ready to pick the Dolphins. But I think because I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be back, they're going to be getting their wide receivers core back because they just let go of Mohamed Sanu because they're starting to get those players back. I'm picking the 49ers to win this one. I'm sorry, Chris, and I'm sorry, DJ, but
Okay, just wait, just real quick before we move on to the next game. I know we're gonna do all of Ben's picks at the very end. However, if we could just do a quick sneak peek to who he picked on this game, I need to know.
oh wait, did he send it in the group chat? Because I haven't got anything.
No, he did not.
No? Okay, so let's just say Ben predicts a tie.
We'll go with
Yeah,
that.
right.
I have a feeling in my gut that he would be with me and Chris on this one because I know him and I are the kings of trying to predict an upset. So that's why I was just trying to
Have
get.
we ever went 50-50 before? I feel like we have, but I don't ever really remember.
No, because Ben has definitely been the one.
Right, of course. We always have the tiebreakers. This is first 50-50.
Yeah, I like having 5 of us, so it's like the fans know that there's a majority for certain picks and whatnot. If it's going to be a sweep, how everybody's feeling. But can one of you guys send in the group chat to see if Ben can?
I actually just did like 2 seconds ago.
Thank you. I thought that's what you were doing, so I appreciate it. Thank you, Chris.
No
As a
problem.
reward, I'm going to let you talk about this next matchup. You know, I wanted to talk about it myself, but I'm going to graciously let you talk about the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, thank you for this really tanky gift.
You're
Man.
quite welcome.
Fuck. I don't know. This is one of those games that I had troubles picking because it's like you got the Browns, or not the Browns, sorry, the Cowboys. Speaking of the Browns, who got whipped by them, last week. It was a pretty bad game for them. But do I even have any faith in New York? I don't. I really don't.
All right. DJ, do you have any faith in New York?
No, I do not actually. Funny you ask because I actually have zero confidence in New York. Therefore, I'm riding with Chris again on this one, going with the boys.
All right. Tanner, any faith in New York?
I will keep saying it, bro, till the day I die. The biggest disappointment out of New York is the Giants. And God, honestly, I think I've talked about them a lot. I hate the Cowboys, bro. I love my mama. She's a Cowboys fan, but she's only a Cowboys fan for 2 hours on Thanksgiving. That's it. So, other than that, but I got to give it to Cowboys this week, bro. I just don't believe the Giants. I really think they're going to go this whole season. No, not one W.
Wow, that would be bold. I've
seen the light. I've seen the future.
You've seen the future. The third 0-16 team. It's actually kind of funny that you mentioned your mom being a Dallas fan because my mom's actually a Dallas fan as well. But her reason is she teaches high school, and some of those students have moved on to the NFL and, got drafted by Dallas. So she became a Dallas fan. And so I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to just beat the snot out of the Giants. I don't have any faith whatsoever. All right. DJ, did you want to say something?
No, but I was just Googling pictures of John Gruden screaming, but I came up with this one, and I kind of like it because it's kind of like, you're next, buddy. That's exactly what I'm going to be saying when they play the Chiefs this weekend. He's going to look at Andy Reid and point right at him. Sorry for the off topic, but yeah.
It's okay. We got to throw in a little bit extra. It's a spicy rivalry. So moving on to our next matchup, it is the Denver Broncos taking on the New England Patriots. And Tanner, I want you to get us pumped for this one.
I'm excited. I mean, we're not going to have Super Cam playing this week. Last week was a little bit interesting, seeing Brian Hoyer and Jarrett Stidham come out of the hidey hole for so long. Belichick just looked at them. They knew Brady was gone, but they still didn't leave the closet until Belichick opened the door and said, hey, bro, it's time to go. Let's go. And, Hoyer did good. Stidham did okay. 2 interceptions. Like, a lot of times I was watching that game, especially when we threw that I think it was in the fourth quarter when we threw that one interception that was just right to the cornerback. I just put my head down like this, like my hands on my face. I was like, bro, we're not winning this game no more. We had a chance, but we're not winning it no more. However, though, that was the Chiefs. They're playing the Broncos now. And the Broncos are not the Chiefs, not even close. Honestly, I mean, I was going to say Jarrett Stidham's performance kind of reminded me of Tim Tebow's entire career, but, we're not going to talk about that because, he's not in the league no more. Maybe if we play Canadian football. But other than that, I'm going to give it up to the Patriots this week. Every week I've been with them, my team. If I wasn't, it would have been last week. But I'm going to give it to the Patriots this week because those are my boys. I think they're going to do okay. I think Hoyer's going to, get some of that rust off his hands and get ready to go and show it. And, hey, maybe he could prove something to Belichick, and maybe we'll have a Hoyer dynasty. But I'm not holding my breath on it. Let's go, Pats.
All right. So for me, this game really just comes down to 2 factors. I actually love Brian Hoyer. The whole reason why I'm a Browns fan is because of when Hoyer was the quarterback for the Browns. I thought he did great, and then they decided to bench him for Johnny Manziel. But if they got like the full week's notice to actually train and use him as a starting quarterback, I think he would have been more prepared and played better during the actual game. This week they will. And the Broncos, this is the second fact. They played the New York Jets. Now, I'm pretty sure that us 5 could probably score at least 3 touchdowns on the Jets. So give me the Patriots to win this one upright. Chris?
Man, the Broncos, I'm not feeling it. They did okay against the Jets. But, I mean, it's the Jets. I mean, like you said, I think us 5 can probably score more touchdowns than the Jets can. So I'm going to have to go with the Patriots too.
All right. And then DJ for the final pick this round.
I got to say, I was really impressed with both Brian Hoyer and also Stidham. Is that the kid's name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just recently drafted, right?
Yeah, 2 seasons ago. So not this past draft, but the one prior.
Okay, well, yeah, even being a young gun, jumping into a game against the Chiefs like that, like, hey, showed some serious guts. And even more so than that, the Patriots' run game was like out of this world. You got some random running back guy that had some clout behind him before going into the game, coming off an injury, and then racking up 100 yards, and Rex Burkhead still holding it down for, the 5'8" and under running back crowd, which I always give mad respect to guys like that, like Sproles or something like that, So I'm going Patriots just because, man, they still fought it, just grinded it out throughout that whole deal. So
if you want to talk about short guys, I mean, I'm like 5'9", and Edelman, I believe last season, you fact check me on this, he's like 5'10" and like 199 pounds. He's almost 200 pounds for being a wide receiver, bulk of muscle. The whole thing about the Patriots is you got tall boy Tom, not anymore, but before you had tall boy Tom, and you got the 7 dwarves with him. But they put in that work.
Yep, they did, and that's why I'm going the Patriots because the short guys are still putting in work, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I almost got an offer to be part of the Patriots whenever I was walking around Ralph's one day. I had to turn them down.
So, are you saying did they think you were Julian Edelman or Danny Amendola or something?
I don't want to give away too much, but I saw like a can starting to fall off the rack, and so I just quickly grabbed it, and they were like, "Whoa, nice hands." I was like, "Thanks, man."
Made that diving catch that Edelman made.
Yo, Super Bowl 51 is my favorite Super Bowl I've actually watched, and just that, you know, he's like balancing the ball. Oh, I love that throw so much. But I don't want to give too much praise to the Patriots because I've already changed my background. Let's move on to the next matchup. It's the Indianapolis Colts going to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And DJ, you're going to talk about this one.
Oh, man. I love this matchup. I honestly think it's going to be a dogfight, man. The Colts have just been, you know, they've just been firing on all cylinders. I'm not saying that they're, you know, a 4-0 team, but, you know, from what you would expect from the beginning of the season into what they've been doing of recent, pretty impressed on Phillip Rivers really turning things around for them, you know, and getting after it. Putting some teams on their heels. So I like that. And then also about – I'm sorry. Hold on real quick. I had some notes going on. So it's the Browns. They had a couple extra days to rest after the Thursday game. Didn't they just play this Thursday?
The Browns?
Yeah.
No, they played on Sunday.
Oh, okay, right on. You know, I mean, I feel like the Browns they're pretty sick, and you know, with the dual running backs with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and then OBJ just coming in, just handling things. They're looking promising. I think things are clicking for them pretty well. Like I said, that's why I feel like it's going to be a battle between the two. But if I do have to pick one or the other, I'm going the Browns on this one. I think that they are going to take it. I'm going to dog pound. I think it's going to be a good game, but the Browns are taking this one.
Very nice. I like the picture. Tanner, who's your pick?
So I was talking to my boy Brendan. He's a big Colts fan, and I kind of want to ask him about this. I like to get little second opinions other than my, you know, own irrelevant opinion. He was telling me that, you know, Nick Chubbs is out for the Browns, and he said that Baker Mayfield is not great against defenses, against good defenses, which the Colts have. That's why they're 3-1. But, however, I'm still going to go Colts. I'm just going to do it for my boy because every time I was picking against the Colts, he's like, bro, you're going to keep losing. You're going to keep losing. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're not going to win that jersey. He's like, you need to listen to me. You need to tell me. He's like, let me tell you about the Colts. He came and whispered in my ear, and so I'm going with the Colts this week.
I'm glad you gave us a little insight in your very special relationship with him. What's up, Brendan? I'm going to make you very angry because here we go. We're going to go Browns. I'm going Browns. The Colts defense is great. However, these guys have been scoring 30-plus points for the last 3 games. I think that they're just going to wreck this one. And we'll just really have to see what happens. Now, this is probably going to make me look very foolish, but we'll see what happens. Chris, your pick.
Well, I was like Tanner. I was looking into it, and yeah, Nick Chubb is out. And I don't see that being a big problem for Cleveland. They've got 2 of the best wide receivers in OBJ and Jarvis Landry. Still pissed off that the Dolphins released him, but I digress. But, you know, last week the Browns put up, 40-plus points against the Cowboys in Dallas. Now you can't tell me. I mean Dallas did put up 38, but you can't tell me that this team is ready to win. Like Browns. That's all I got to say.
I get.
I love it. I love it. All right, I'm going to take it off before I get my hopes too high because I'm still a Cleveland fan, so I know all about the heartbreaks.
Hey, you know the way I'm going this week? I may come out on top this week. We'll see. You may see me at number 1 on the leaderboard, or I'm going to be real low on the leaderboard. So we'll see.
Hey, you're only 3 games behind me. You're 2 games behind Chris. So you've been picking against us. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
They are basically sharing the bottom of the total right now.
DJ, you're only 3 picks ahead of Ben. And
Yes,
Ben
he was
hasn't
climbing
picked the
up.
Packers to win a single game.
That's why he just hates Aaron Rodgers. That's what's killing him.
Yeah, well, I hate Aaron Rodgers too, but like,
If you pick Green Bay every time.
Is he
mhm.
lactose intolerant or what, bro? He don't like cheese?
He's a Vikings fan.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, I forgot he doesn't like to win.
Speaking of Vikings and not winning, it's the Minnesota Vikings going to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. DJ, let's hear about this pick.
Yeah, I got you guys on this one for sure. You know, I was reading an article earlier about Kirk Cousins, you know, being asked about how he feels about the win that he just had. And he was talking about it. And, you know, not even Kirk Cousins is convinced on the one win. You know, he's saying that, yeah, it feels good to win, but we need a string of wins if we're going to be, you know, taking ourselves serious this season. And I don't think that after, you know, the one win that they had this past weekend, you know, I don't think that string of wins is going to come up, you know, going up against the Seahawks the following weekend. You know, Russell Wilson is playing lights out. I know that he didn't put up huge numbers, or the Seahawks didn't put up huge numbers against the Dolphins, but I am arguing more so on the legitimacy of the Dolphins versus, you know, the Seahawks not being able to get things done for themselves. Just so much firepower on offense. Defense looking somewhat shaky, which, you know, hey man, we're going through a COVID off season and still trying to work things out, you know, going in this year. So with that being said, I'm still gonna go with Russell Wilson and all that offensive firepower that he has. I'm going Seahawks all day, boys.
All right, Tanner, who's your pick?
You know, it's not really so much competition this week. You know, you got the Vikings versus the Seahawks. I think we can all agree. Russell Wilson doing very well. I changed up my photo this week for the Seahawks, you guys. I'm going to have to duck here, so I'm not sure if it's going to catch it, but I'm waiting for it. My favorite photo of Richard Sherman from my also favorite moment right about here. So kind of see what happens, but I got to give it up to these guys up here. They're going to take it this week. He's not going to have this face. He may have this face if he looks at the scoreboard and says, man, we're beating them by that much. Yeah. But, you know, other than that, we'll see. But I got to give it to Seahawks this week.
That is a Kodak shot right there, man. Just the horror in his face from that. It was like,
just throwing it on the one, baby.
Mistakes were made. Look, can I just be real about the Seahawks? Yes, Russell Wilson is playing fantastic, but their defense is not helping him. And same thing with the Vikings is like they're scoring relatively well. Like 2 of their games they got in the 30s. They were in 20s for 2 of them. But the defense is also giving up a lot of points. So it's just neither of these teams' defenses are that good. So I'm expecting a big, high-scoring game. I just think that the Seahawks have better offensive weapons, and so I'm picking the Seahawks to beat the Vikings. Chris?
You know, I loved it when Kirk Cousins won that one game in Washington, and he's like, you like that? You like that? I liked it. But I don't like the Vikings right now.
You had me going. I was like, oh, is this it? Is this the pick that's going to determine the rankings?
No, I'm sorry to disappoint, but it is not the pick. It is not the pick this week.
Hey, but we'll have to see because Tanner did bring up really good points last round. But speaking of the last round, let's go ahead and get into it. What do you guys say? Yes or no?
No, let's just forget about the last one.
All
Just
right,
kidding.
and ladies and gentlemen, that's the final. No. Okay. So the Monday night game. It's the LA Chargers going to New Orleans to take on the Saints. I have a special announcement, and this is really going to be the whole reason for my pick. Is the New Orleans Saints reached out to me. I was part of the virtual draft. You can find it on YouTube. Round 3, Adam Troutman, when the New Orleans Saints selected Adam Troutman, you can see me on the screen with my ventriloquist dummy fireman stand cheering on the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to be part of our fan mosaic during the Monday night game? So whenever the Saints score a touchdown or they go to commercial, they show like the little fans on the screen and the fans are cheering. I'm going to be part of that on Monday. This is actually an exciting matchup for me because this is also the first game that I went to as a New Orleans Saints fan. The first time I went to a game, I saw them taking on the then San Diego Chargers in San Diego at Qualcomm Stadium. And the Saints won that game by 1 point, coming back from being down 13. It was incredible. I lost my voice because I was cheering so hard. It was a fun game. But these Chargers aren't the same because they're missing Phillip Rivers. Justin Herbert's actually looking pretty good. But like I said earlier in the video, God hates the Chargers. And so they blew the lead against Tampa. Saints, they got their mojo back against the Lions, and we'll really have to see if that sticks. They're playing well, but anything can happen. And in this matchup, just because I'm going to be part of the screen, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints to win this game against the LA Chargers, and you guys are going to be seeing me cheering on my boys. Chris, tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, you're wrong for no reasons at all, because the Chargers last week gave up a lead. Now, granted, it's to the GOAT in Tampa Bay and stuff, but they're going to do a Falcons this week again and blow it in the fourth quarter, so I'm going to have to go Saints.
All right, Tanner, or not Tanner, DJ, I want your pick first.
You're going to be mad at me.
Bro, the New Orleans Saints organization is probably watching this right now. They're going to be judging my friends.
If they are, then I'm going to ask them, is Michael Thomas healthy or is he not healthy?
He practiced, but because they're playing on Monday night, they don't have official practice until tomorrow.
Then I'm going the Chargers.
No.
I'm sorry. It's an early upset.
Oh, my God.
Dude, they were looking solid against Tampa Bay, man. You know, I mean, God, Drew Brees and Tom Brady are only 3 years of age difference, and they don't have their star wide receiver, you know? And I love a comeback story from a young stud like Justin Herbert. So, you know what? This is going to be the defining game for me to step up against you guys. I'm tired of getting dirt kicked in my face with a 10-6 record. And you know what? I'm making a real stance by picking them because, for one, I hate going against my boy Nick. And two, it is a ballsy call. It is a ballsy call.
Justin Herbert played fantastic last week. It was until the last quarter when Comeback Tom came alive. Oh. All right, well, Tanner, what do you pick? And remember, the New Orleans Saints organization's probably watching this, judging everybody, and saying DJ's not allowed to come to our stadium.
You know what, bro?
If that was the thing, I would have picked Saints all day.
Nah, DJ. Watch. The next time the Raiders go to the Super Bowl, it's going to be in New Orleans, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you picked against us." Tanner, your move.
Hey, bro. What were you saying before about coming to the stadium? Before DJ said something? What were you saying?
They're probably looking at DJ right now saying that they can't come to the stadium ever.
You know what? And they're gonna say the same thing to me.
Oh, ouch.
They're gonna say the same thing to me. Look, I know that defense is gonna pressure Drew Brees. They're gonna get in the old man's head. They didn't really get in Tom's head, but I mean, hey, 31-35 against the Bucs with Tom Brady and Gronk. That's pretty impressive.
Joey Bosa, the kid is a freaking like a machine, dude. That guy is a corn husker, freaking like I don't even know, like born off a farm, like just throwing around 200-pound haystacks at the age of 10 or something, man. Guy's a freaking nature.
Nick, you don't look too happy right now. You keep spinning in that chair.
I'm going to give you guys one last chance, just with a little bit of information here. Right now, the state of Louisiana are under hurricane watch. Now, the hurricane's going to move past them, but let's remember what happened last time they got hit by a hurricane. Who came alive? Who brought the city back from devastation?
Was it Kanye West when he said George Bush doesn't care about black people?
Okay, no, we're just.
Was it the Pelicans when they traded for Lonzo Ball?
You know what? I want to see what the homicide is this weekend in Baton Rouge. Let's take a look.
Let's stop so I can just say thank you to the New Orleans Saints for the opportunity, and they don't know what they're talking about. I know that it's a lovely state, and I can't wait to go to a game there personally.
Hey, it's 1-4 right now. 27.6. Oh no, I'm sorry. Per 100,000. Sorry, that's really.
I was gonna say
that's a bad proportion. All right, it's not 1-4. It's 1-400.
Chris,
Damn.
did Ben give us his picks?
He did, and I actually on the Google Docs placed his picks next to everybody else's picks, so you could go ahead and just read them off down the line.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. I thought those were DJ's picks, and I was like, why is he adding them so late? Okay. Well, all right. So let's go over Ben's picks before, the New Orleans Saints don't like me. Let me just go ahead and change my background to something Ben would like. There we go. So for Ben's picks, he picks the Bucs over Bears, the Bills over Titans, Texans over Jaguars, Ravens over Bengals, Falcons over Panthers, Cardinals over Jets, Chiefs over Raiders, Steelers over Eagles, Rams over Washington, 49ers over Dolphins, Cowboys over Giants, Patriots over Broncos, Browns over Colts, Seahawks over Vikings, and Saints over Chargers. Do you guys have anything to add to that? And Chris, why don't you have a video?
Tell you the truth, I accidentally hit the wrong button. But
Okay.
I do have one thing to say. Ben, this is the 1 week that we could have, chosen the same upset of the Dolphins, but you decided to go against me, so I'm very upset.
Yeah, I'm slightly upset as well. And you know what? I will say, because I don't want that last bit that we did on the Saints to go against Nick, because the first game that I got to hang out with Nick was so sweet, so sick, and so rad. He bought me a ticket to go see the Saints play against the Chargers in a sick game at the
Preseason game
center, and it was pretty fun. And just want the front office of the Saints to know that he is a diehard fan for the Saints, because we went to that game together and we went off, and I gladly cheered for the Saints that game because I absolutely hate the Chargers, and that was pretty sick. So and the Saints won, which was even more badass about it, which was pretty cool. And hey, I gotta say, Nick, that was still a super sick game to go to. So I had fun. So this guy, he's a real Saints fan, all right? You guys don't forget it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, DJ. And I bought the ticket and all. It was a preseason game, so it wasn't too expensive. DJ repaid me in hot dogs. I had a lot of good hot dogs that day.
What is that? What does that mean?
I was like, wow.
Bro. And then afterwards, we hung out at Dave & Buster's. That was a lot of fun.
That was sick. And I did. I mean, hey, this guy, he doesn't drink any beers. He doesn't drink much beer at all, or he doesn't drink any beer at all. Actually.
None.
But I do. So I was enjoying myself, to say the least. And we had a good time, and we made it out safe as well. But yeah, this guy right here, Saints fan number 1.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to go to a game with all of you guys.
Yeah.
We've been recording for over an hour, so we're just going to wrap it up right here.
Let me say one last thing, Nick.
Okay.
My opinion about Ben, I'm very happy Ben has dropped the weed this week, bro. He's making some more reasonable picks this week. So good on you, Ben, for kicking it. Hope to see you do better, bro.
And I hope that the Vikings don't, what, too hard.
Yep, I agree. I like Ben's picks a lot. But that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the final score. Thank you, and good night.